ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, once again it is time for Robcast Live, coming at you live uncut from Spreaker Studios and Robcast Radio. So without further ado, here's Zombie and here it goes. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, once again it is time for Robcast Live. And not only are we live, you're welcome to download the show. You're welcome to listen to it anytime. Just go ahead, go to Spreaker Podcast, the one with the star on it, guys. Download the app for your phone. And, follow me on there. And that's where they will let you know all of the latest and greatest craziness going on in beautiful Brazoria County. And speaking of beautiful Brazoria County, I would always like to start off this show by saying thank you. Just a little thanks, or really a big thanks. A thank you to the Army, to the Navy, to the Air Force, and to the Marines for doing what you bad motherfuckers do, man, to keep our country free. So thank you for your service. While we're thanking people for their service, I also like to thank the police, not just now, but always. I also like to thank the firefighters and the EMTs, because all of these persons are taught to run into danger whenever we run away from it. So for that, I give you all respect. And rock and roll. Let's start off the show. We got a subject tonight. We're going to talk about motorcycles, fast ones. Some of them aren't so fast, and some people shouldn't be on necessarily on a fast motorcycle. And what is your definition of fast? Some people define fast a little bit differently than I do. I can tell you that someone told me that my dad has a race car. And I was like, really? Your dad has a race car? That's kind of cool. And I came to find out it was like a Mustang with some Flowmasters on it. And, I mean, respect to anyone that wants to go fast, but we're talking... the race cars I've worked on, you can't crank them up even in a suburban neighborhood, because they'd start blowing out windows. You know what I'm saying? You hear me? I'm saying? Alright, guys. I'm not blowing any windows tonight. But I will let you know a couple of places you can listen to this show. If you are, you're at work, getting your workout in, if you're doing your morning jog, you can listen to the show on YouTube. The audio will be definitely on YouTube after we do it tonight. I will post it on Facebook. It seems to be going up on Facebook well, and I'm glad that the microphones are rocking and rolling. Mic 1, mic 2, and we know mic 3 works. YouTube, we will be on YouTube, Spreaker Podcast. It is the number one. If you're a talk radio person, if you like that kind of thing, download the Spreaker Podcast app. And I'm not just shamelessly plugging things. I am trying to give you guys a seamless thread to follow here at Robcast Live. Facebook, guys, Facebook, I'm Robert Cole. Twitter, Zombie on Twitter. And if you do go to Spreaker Podcast, that is that's where my Twitter and everything like that will also be on there. And if you would like to weigh your own opinion in on motorcycles or any of the subjects that we've talked about, you're welcome to text 979-331-5193 and let me know what you're thinking about. We can text and rock and roll. Here we go. Why motorcycles? Why do people ride? What is the what's the deal? If you've never been on a motorcycle, some people, if they've never been on a motorcycle, if they've never ridden a motorcycle, you might ask yourself, why? And it down to one word, and that is freedom. It's freedom, man. It's freeing. It's And to, just like other things you may not be interested in, particularly motorcycle riding, but other things that I could compare it to would be, that's like, if you want to, like taking your boat out, getting the wind in your face. You may compare it a little bit to, let's say, a four-wheeler ride, or even, everyone likes to ride a bicycle, right? You got the wind in your face, there's nothing around you, you can see everything clearly, as far as your vision goes. And for the people who have been riding for a long time, riding their whole lives, it's just a matter of, it's an escape. It's an escape that will allow you to get, whenever you get off your hard day at work and you get home and you do your thing, and sometimes you just want to hop on your motorcycle and take a ride, even if it's just around the block, to show off people your new LEDs that you put on it. And some people ride motorcycles and they make money doing it. So rock and roll, Chip Ellis, I hope you're kicking the booty tomorrow. Matt Hagen also, rock and roll. And while we're talking about drag racers, Angel Sampé and Erica Enders there, y'all put y'all thing down, and don't anyone forget, nobody forget, because Leah posted earlier, and that's my buddy Kenjo Kelly's putting this thing down at Roll Purple Dragway, and it's a super blessing that his Mustang is all back together from having a little mishap at one of the events there at the Energy Stadium. It was one of the street racing events. So hey, rock and roll. Kenjo, put your thing down. The car looks freaking awesome. And guys, this is what I'm talking about. A real race car, as far as quote-unquote race car goes, is, something that has a couple thousand horsepower and a big sound. And back to talking about racing, guys, I was looking online earlier, talking about going fast and what your definition of going fast is. I was looking online at pro stock motorcycle chassis, just rolling chassis, because, I'd have to start out with something that I would build from the ground up. If I'm putting myself on it, it's going to have to be hand built by, guess what, yours truly. And that is a thought that it may not be in so far of the future away, and we shall see if we shall see the zombie pro stock. It's probably going to be, I don't know. Like I said, I just barely started looking today at what the possibilities could be. And if you paint a clear vision of your future, there's no telling what the limits are. You'll have to excuse me, guys. I had to take a little sip of some cherry Dr. Pepper. Cherry Dr. Pepper. Motorcycles, freedom. It's kind of like, just being free, and then a whole nother, there's a lot of different types of riding. You can ride on the street. You might ride a cruiser, a V-twin. You might ride a Harley. You could have a Japanese bike. You could have a metric bike. Have something that you built yourself, like my Pops. Pop's 74 years old, and he drives a three-wheeled Volkswagen powered trike that's got all Indian bodywork on it. Hey, it's cool. To each his own is kind of how I feel about that. To each his own. I don't mind riding with anyone except for stupid people, and we'll get into that in just a few minutes, because there are definitely some people out there that shouldn't be on a motorcycle at all, guys. And I like to not see people's brains shoot out the back of their head. I tend to like to not see that for anyone. So I will encourage anyone that I think shouldn't be on a motorcycle not to ride. Hey, if you weren't very good rule of thumb is, if you like bust your ass trying to ride a bicycle, if you put a couple hundred horsepower with that and get on the road, what do you think is going to happen? I mean, use your brain, all right? And there are some guys like Car and yo Blakeinator. What's up, Blakeinator? Christina Milo. Don't forget Salem and Mac. What are you guys up to out there in Sweetwater, Texas? What's up, fellas? So some of my mad motocrossers out there listening right now, they're saying, man, there was a picture of that CR250, man, there on your cover photo. That happens to be my personal dirt bike, guys. So, yes, I happen to understand just a little bit about another freedom, getting out on the open road, or taking that motorcycle ride, or even that four-wheeler ride. But another thing that really, what it does, it produces the natural endorphins in your brain that just make you feel good. They make you want to do something like maybe do a radio show, or just talk about motorcycles, because it's a common subject that I know that, I'm not the only person that feels like this. But back the freedom, and then, of course, the sensation of actually getting to fly a little bit. And sometimes a lot. And sometimes unintentionally a lot without your motorcycle, and you both end up in different spots. And knock on wood, and I haven't been on that dirt bike in a minute, but no, I'm not even going to say anything. I'm not even going to just... Okay, single phase. We're experiencing technical difficulty. But just the experience of actually getting to jump motorcycles, that can get to be a little bit addictive. And I say that because we took some, respect to all types of riding, okay? We went out to Sargent Beach the other weekend, my brother and a friend of his and myself, and we've got these little 50cc off-road scooters. They're Yamaha Zumas. The Yamaha Zuma is an off-road scooter, kind of like a Honda Ruckus. And we took them all out to the beach, and 3 grown men at the beach that we brought the scooters in an enclosed trailer. It's not like we drove them down there or anything. We're going to do a little bit of kayaking. And we took the scooters because the beach, guys, y'all know, Sargent Beach is pretty long. It's like 8 miles or something like that? 8-mile beach. I could add it up in my head right now, but I think it's about 9. It might, if you go down to the beach and take a left, it's probably 10 miles till you get to the mouth, somewhere around in there. So whenever we get to the place where we wanted to do a little bit of fishing, do a little bit of kayaking, we get on these scooters. And at first we kind of did our own thing, riding around a little bit. And then the next thing you know, we're having a 3-man drag race down the beach at full speed on the scooters, which is like 34 miles an hour. It feels much faster with the sea breeze in your hair on the sand and dodging logs and stuff that have all washed in from the tides. And so now, guess what? Now we've got to make those go faster. We've got to put some performance upgrades on those and everything. But yeah, motorcycling, I don't know, it's been something I've been interested in since, I guess it all goes back. The root of my motorcycling goes to my pops put me on the tank of his Honda CB350 with the Honda CB750 engine in it. But that was his little hot rod that he would ride around. He called it his bar hopper. He would put me on the tank of that motorcycle out in Churchill, Texas. And we would ride up 2611 with me on the tank, and I would hold the handlebars. And it felt like I was driving because I was on the tank in front of him. And he would drive me down to Leo and Theo's grocery. We would always go in, and he would let me buy a chocolate soldier. Chocolate soldier, if you don't know what it is, it's like Yoo-hoo from 30 years ago.